Well, I'm here with Henrik, father of Magnus Carlsen. Hi Henrik, how are you doing?
Hi there, I'm fine. I'm a chess fan, so I'm happy to be here.
And you right now are not in the best of your health, but you are recovering.
Yeah, I broke my ankle a month ago, but it's getting better and better. And I'll just keep the crutches so that people treat me very nicely.
But you are now doing okay, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's improving. I still have to go with crutches for a couple of weeks.
Okay. And tell us a bit about this match. It's game number 6 right now, 5 draws. What has been your impression of it?
Well, game 6 is very often an important game in World Championship matches. It's not obvious that we will have a decisive result today either. But I think Magnus, he seemed to surprise Jan a bit in the opening. Then Jan reacted very well, and he's not worse, I think. It's about equal. So I think most of the games have been very interesting. Of course, despite the tension and seemingly a lot of, play for each side. As long as we know that they've been in preparation quite a lot, it's probably been a lot about preparation and not so much about the game over the board as we would have hoped to see maybe, but that's the nature of World Championship matches, I think. So they're basically both well prepared. We're not surprised to see Jan well prepared. I mean, that's definitely reasonable.
Yeah.
And we know he's worked very hard and he has a lot of seconds. And we hope that the match will just get more and more interesting and exciting as it goes along.
Do you think, like, of all the opponents Magnus has faced, Jan might be like the strongest in the World Championship matches?
Well, it's too early to say, basically. He's been very strong so far, but you could argue that Caruana had also a lot of chances. I mean, Viswanathan Anand had some chances, and Magnus was probably fortunate to play him at that point in his career and not a few years earlier, when it would have been much more difficult, probably. And Kayakin gave Magnus a lot of problems, although you could argue that, okay, Magnus won in the end, and things didn't work out particularly well for Magnus with the way he was very close to winning in a couple of the early games, and then lost by overpressing, and he was nearly lost, or mainly, or possibly lost also in the subsequent game. But so the matches have all been very tough, and to compare Nepomniachtchi with the others is too early, although he's shaping up to be a really, really strong competitor, along with the lines of Caruana maybe, I don't know.
You know, Magnus won his first title in 2013, and now it's 8 years already since he has been the world champion. How do you see that this hunger remains after 8 years? And every time, you know, you have to prepare, because even if you look at the past world champions, Kramnik was the world champion for say 7 years, from 2000 to 2010. Anand was for around 6 years to 7 years, and now Magnus has already surpassed them. So at some point it starts to get really heavy, right? Every cycle you prepare a lot for the match.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen someone like Kasparov, for instance, remain hungry for more than 2 decades. And I think that's quite unique. It's very difficult. But Magnus has been hungry for a decade now, and I'm quite impressed with how he has prepared and got into shape for the World Championship match this time, although he said just before the match that he wasn't really fired up just a few days before the match, but he thought when he sat down at the board he would be. And that's the balance, of course. I mean, you want to do your absolute best, but you cannot expend too much energy too early or on being nervous without that improving your play, basically. So finding that balance is very difficult. I hope and believe that Magnus has found it again. But again, the outcome of the match is, of course, deciding how we look back on this after the match.
You know, when I had interviewed you last, you had mentioned that, you know, let the child take the decisions,
yes.
basically.
Yes.
And it's still the same, yeah? Like if Magnus wants to work hard for his world championships, he does it. You do not interfere.
Well, come on, he's the boss. And I definitely don't interfere, and it wouldn't help anyway, and it would be counterproductive, I think, even to try. So this is Magnus's job and his work, and of course he has a lot of help from his seconds and his coach Peter Heine, etc. And that's very, very important. But my role is basically I should try to avoid breaking my leg before World Championship matches.
You know, in 2013 when Magnus won the match, chess in Norway was not as popular as it is today. Are you proud at how chess has spread in Norway and gone to literally every home almost?
Yeah, I mean, and I think also the TV companies that have produced very good entertainment, especially during the matches, some of the Rapid and Blitz World Championships, and now lately for more than a year also online tournaments being shown on Norwegian television has been very important. And frankly, as we say, we didn't see classical chess becoming such a hit with the Norwegian chess audience. Because like when Magnus spends 20 minutes thinking about the move, you need a very good producer and commentator and running the show to make this as exciting as they are able to do, basically.
Right.
But now chess is on a boom, I think, worldwide also, partly because of the COVID pandemic, but also because probably the traits and the abilities that you teach and learn through chess is considered more and more valuable probably in society. So chess is doing well.
And Magnus, you know, started his own venture. It's called the PlayMagnus. And sometimes you feel like, you know, when you start something so big, which is like competing at a world level to become like the leader in the sport, it is distracting to your game. How does Magnus achieve this balance? Do you help him? Do people help him? I mean, I also run a chess company. I know the effort involved in it. It's a lot.
Yeah, and that's a good question. But I think that Magnus, he has always been very good when it comes to balancing priorities. So while he's been supportive and helping out a lot also in the PlayMagnus group, the sporting perspective have always been priority number one. And they know it, we know it, it's how it should be. You really have to be focused and very often single-minded to try to stay on top in the chess world. So, but we managed to combine it quite well. I'm at the board of the PlayMagnus group and communicate occasionally with Magnus. He has also other contacts at the company that he talks to regularly. But in general, he's kind of doing things that he enjoys to do and that he's comfortable with, and that things that he doesn't feel interfere with his sporting perspective. And also, he's a valuable advisor, of course, because he knows a lot about chess history, what made him tick, what made him a strong player. So I think it's a good synergy.
He does give his inputs from time to time.
Yes, but again on a voluntary basis, basically. So he doesn't have any major kind of things that he has to do or that distract him, basically. It works very well, and we have an extremely competent leadership group. So I'm very happy about that. I'm just looking at the CEO over here, and he's doing a great job, basically.
it's like a big team that there is there, and also the company went public recently in Norway. So do you think that somewhere there's a lot of pressure on him that he has to remain the world champion, because at the end his world championship title does make the company more valuable?
Well, he cannot think like that, and of course we are aware of the situation, but and I gave some thought to that in 2016 and maybe also 18, but I mean, people understand that he does his best, and we really had to separate his sporting initiatives and perspectives and results from short-term company goals. That's something different. So I think the PlayMagnus group, they have a lot of people here, and they are enjoying it. They are making a lot of good coverage. It's a happening in the chess world, which I think we're all happy about.
And about you, you are here. I think one of your daughters also here.
Two of them now. Yes.
Can you tell who are here?
Yeah, Ellen is here as the team doctor, and Ingrid is here now with her spouse or her cohabitant bror, and they've been supportive. And Ingrid will go home on Sunday, and then our youngest daughter will come.
So basically the entire family still, kind of travels together to chess tournaments. This was what was 2 decades ago, and
well, it's much more seldom than before, but usually they all want to visit the World Championship match. So my wife has a medical condition, so she'll be home through the match this time, but otherwise, yes, the whole family is coming, and of course we all enjoy a World Championship match.
And finally, Henrik, you started as a chess enthusiast, you had other things that you were doing, and now into the 5th World Championship match of your son. How has this journey been, and where do you see this leading to?
Well, the journey is probably the purpose and the goal in itself. And of course, as you know, I had to pinch my arm so many times during this travel, this journey, but in that respect, basically, I'm not ambitious on Magnus' behalf, basically, because he's achieved so much. But fortunately, he is quite ambitious.
And you just want to let it flow. However it flows, you will enjoy it. As a chess enthusiast, as a chess lover, and as a father.
Yes, of course. I mean, yes, that's my role. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Henrik.
You're welcome. Thank you.